shameless. The uneducated Harry dared to imitate Queen's speech style to get fame, never same. Prince Harry seemed to channel some of his grandmother the Queen's speech-making skills as he and Meghan Markle addressed crowds in New York last week. Meghan Markle, 40, joined her husband Prince Harry, 37 on stage at the Global Citizen Live event on Saturday, to give a speech about vaccine equity, a cause which the pair have been outspoken on previously. The event marked the final item on the itinerary for the couple who spent 3 days in New York City attending a number of high-profile meetings and visits. During their speech, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex fired up the crowd by urging first world countries to donate 1 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines to developing countries. They claimed global action was necessary to end the pandemic at the star-studded concert which raised $1.1 billion for the cause. As they appeared on stage, Prince Harry told crowds, "Guys, we have what we need to vaccinate the world. Many countries are ready to produce vaccines back home, yet they aren't allowed to because ultra-wealthy pharmaceutical companies are not sharing the recipes to make them. All they are waiting for is the vaccine intellectual property to be waived and the vaccine technology to be transferred over." While addressing those gathered in the Big Apple's Central Park, crowds went wild when Harry pulled Meghan in close and referred to her as "my wife." The Queen, 95, often used to mention her late husband Prince Philip when making speeches in a bid to make herself seem more accessible to those she was addressing. She used the phrase "my husband and I" so often in her addresses that it became a source of ridicule. Reacting to Harry's speech on Sunday, one source claimed his use of the phrase "my wife" was particularly potent. The Insider told magazine, when he referred to "my wife" in his address, the crowd went crazy with screaming. He seemed shy and then he pulled her into him. The crowd loved that. The Queen often used to begin her speeches by saying "my husband and I" in reference to the Duke of Edinburgh. The Queen married the Duke of Edinburgh on the 20th of November 1947, and following this, within his role as royal consort, he always walked a few paces behind her in public. The couple were married for 73 years prior to his death, and the Queen once described her husband as her strength and stay. The Queen used the term "my husband and I" to help warm the public to her as a dedicated wife and show Philip's powerful influence in their marriage. The phrase echoed her usage of the traditional honor and obey pledge made at her and Prince Philip's wedding. During their marriage, the couple had 4 children together: Prince Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward, as well as 8 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. The monarch's once favored speech opener, "my husband and I," was mocked in the 1960s due to satirists who claimed the phrasing was archaic and stilted. She retired the phrasing following the criticism, however she made reference to her notorious line in 1972, on the celebration of her wedding anniversary at London's Guildhall. She tactfully acknowledged the favored line and ridicule it had faced by saying, "I think that everybody really will concede that on this, of all days, I should begin my speech with the words 'my husband and I.'" The term has also been used by Meghan Markle in the past when referring to Harry during their Spotify podcast trailer. The Duchess of Sussex referred to her husband using the same rhetorical technique as the Queen in a promo for Archul Audio, which sees the Duke and Duchess of Sussex producing and hosting their own shows. UK-based body language expert Judy James told, despite the fact that just Harry has already introduced himself, Meghan switches to a regal-sounding formality when she then refers to "my husband and I," as though he weren't actually present with her. This is a phrase famously used by the Queen and adds a royal air to their trailer.